It's now time to service this machine, which step one has got to be basically remove all the cobwebs, because this stuff is everywhere. It's just going to make it a lot nicer if I dust it down first. And found one of these in Homebase. Pretty cool. Step two, unfortunately, clean up the cat sick on the bonnet. There's a cat been living in this cover, or sleeping in this cover. I was in here 2 days ago and that was not there. You can see cat hair everywhere. Oh god, what is it with this vehicle, or my vehicles and cats? It was only the other one when I took the floor out once and neighbour's cat went inside and pissed all over the seats. And now I've different house, different Defender, and I've got a cat vomiting on the bonnet. I grew up with cats and I kind of like cats, but since I've been an adult, it's been other people's cats have made me not like cats so much. Maybe I need to get my own cat and keep those cats out of the way. Oh, this is why I got the wand, wasn't it? Anyway, servicing this vehicle. Going to do the coolant because it's come up to 5 years on the oat coolant there. Got engine oil to do. I'll check all the transmission oils. They should be okay because it's only done like 200 meters or so, 300 meters driving in the last 8 years. But I'll replace the engine oil. And then when it comes to fuel, I think what I'll do when it goes back on the road eventually, I'll fill it up, take it for its MOT once it's been taxed and insured, and then I'll replace the filters and the sedimenter, clean the sedimenter out at that stage. But this should hopefully all go relatively smoothly. This is not how I thought my day would be going. Oh, that paintwork. When you clean all the shite off it and the sick, looks pretty good. Yeah, this is the real reason for the feather duster. All this. You can see all that in there. Look at that. Get down in all these areas here because I'm going to be working on the timer belt. Cobwebs is a bit like when you get a hair in your mouth. It's like you can't do anything until that hair is out of your mouth. It's kind of the same. The cobwebs bring a grown man to tears, they can. And I've just found the rest of the remnants of what the rabbit threw up. There we go, it's rabbit season, obviously. There is the oil filter. So it's got a very similar position to the 200 TDI on a slope, so it means when you undo it, it's going to start draining oil straight away. We're looking straight up there. There's the prop shaft. So unless I can't get this with my hand, and this is an optimal position to go straight down onto you. Come on. No, I'm going to need a strap wrench. Or I completely tell a lie. The access up here is quite good. I can get my hand on it there. Let's see if I can't. No. I think I'll be able to do a strap wrench from up here though. Just about got it in there. Let's give it a go. Keep turning. Slowly, slowly. There we go. And watch the oil leak all over the prop shaft. There it goes. Oh, it's missing the prop shaft a little bit. What I'm going to try and do, turn it upside down. There we go. Bring it out this way. Ta-da. You can sit there. The only problem is you're not going to be able to fill this up ahead of changing the oil. No, ideally it would be fresh engine oil, but it's so much easier using this while it's here. Turn it without dropping it. Basically hand that until I can't do it no more. Ooh, nice. That wasn't too bad actually. Is that easier than 300 Ti? Just different I think actually. It's nice that on the 300 Ti you can pre-fill it. This one you can't. But then you can get this access from the top. Actually, at least on the 300 Ti, it all covers the diff and there's no way to avoid that really. Easily anyway. Whereas here at least it mostly misses the prop shaft. So that plug's a strange one. 29mm socket. Feels a bit loose, but 28 doesn't fit. So it's got to be Imperial, which is strange that having gone to South America and built these engines with a different sump, they've fitted an Imperial socket potentially. But anyway, I'm going to use a 29 because it works. Crikey. It's a slightly weird angle this, it's not just like you can pull it across. I've got my shoulders right up against the crossbumper. God! Okay, breaker bar. Look forward to the day where I have to keep running. I don't have to keep running back like 20-30 metres to the house to get a new tool. And it's all in the same place in the garage. Okay. Don't drop the washer. I tell you, it's lovely being in this sheltered environment. You're not having little stringy bits of oil flipping all over the place. It's really nice working in here, actually. There we go. We're going for 5W40 synthetic. Only the best for my little princess. I mean, it's pretty low miles on this engine, so I'll, I don't do 10W40 normally on 300 TDI. As people say, they're pretty agricultural engines. Right, can I get it in without spilling? Get your money's worth. Of course, the filler dipstick's in a different place. From 2.8 to the 300 TDI. The manual says 6 litres without a filter change, 6.5 with a filter change. I've just done 6 litres. That is 3/4 of the way to full. What I need to do first is start the engine, sorry. Okay, battery's connected. Okay, we are now right at the bottom. I've just put in another litre basically. Put that again. Yeah, well, we're still quite a bit under full, actually. So that's taken 7 litres. Might be on a bit of a slope here, so I don't know if that's affecting things, but there's enough oil in it for the moment. When I've run it a bit, then I'll kind of monitor a bit and then figure out how much more I need to put in for it to be full at all times. But that's taken 7 litres, which is more than the manual stayed, but there we go. Just for interest, I'm going to see what the state of the coolant's like. Dropping down a bit. Dropping. So we've got about 3 floating. So we're on minus 23, so it's not too bad. 7. The orange is a bit oranger. But yeah, 7 to 8, so that's pretty good. But we're going to change the coolant anyway because it's time. I'm going to undo this. Get in your face. Or maybe have I just found the solution to my cat problem? No, that would not be the right thing to do. Right, timing belt's back in. You can check that out in a different video, but time to fill up the coolant. And I have looked for an engine drain plug, and there is one in the instruction manual, but I've not found one on this engine. It's not in the same place at all, which is curious. So what I'm going to do is tip half of that into there, mix it in there, tip that in, do the rest. If you've not come across a Scepter water tank before, made in Canada, I think they're Canadian military, these things are awesome. They're awesome. You've got your typical kind of pouring spouts, but then you've got a huge thing here that you can use to fill water, either from a stream or from a fast flowing tap. You can also get your hand in it to clean it out afterwards. And it's not transparent, which means, fair enough, you can't see the level from the outside, but you could hear it. But it means that the water's not going to go mouldy from sunlight. I'll fill up the radiator. These brass bungs I put on. You can always tell how original a Defender is by whether it's still got the plastic ones in there, which are god awful. And like, it's good to see that the original plastic ones are still there, but then you change them as soon as possible. I've not seen many 300 Ti's that still have these plastic ones. Funnily enough, I found this wedged down on the chassis rail, so it must have dropped down there the last time I did this. I've not really driven the vehicle since. This one was a bugger to get out. It got jammed in there. It wasn't this one. I had to destroy it in the end. So what I did was I drilled through here quite as wide as possible with a drill bit. Then I hacksawed like a pizza slice out of it, and then that released some of the tension, and then I was able to wind it out with some pliers. But that took freaking ages. And then I had to, what else did I? Oh, I took the thermostat out to stick some paper roll underneath so that the bits wouldn't fall down into the engine. So that was a real palaver when I did that. But this one came out from the radiator. But they're bungs now, and they've always got this, they're 21mm, which is probably the only 21mm you'll find on a Defender. So I've used up all the coolant. That's 5 litres, which is 50% is 10 litres. You're looking at about 11 litres. I'm happy to fill up the rest. We're just with the water now. So it's a bit higher on here. I should have been monitoring this a bit better, but it's a little bit over on the level there, but I don't think that'll be a problem because it's got all these long heater pipes at the back there. When it runs, it will probably suck water into different areas, so the level might drop. But if it doesn't, then I can always suck some out afterwards. The level's dropping. Even still, it's just a waiting game of patience. Okay, I'll leave that up there. Whilst the level's quite high, I'll just do it up. The vacuum won't let it drop any further. Any extra it needs can come from that overfill on that header tank. Lovely. Uh-oh, got a bit of a leak. That'll be the bottom hose. I didn't tighten up properly. Well, I thought I did. Well, actually, that's possibly a no. It's dripping there, dripping there. The bottom hose is over here. So I think that's just overspill from the top of the engine. Still a bit up. I'm not going to worry about that. I can always suck some more out. Whereas unlike the engine, if you overfill the engine, it's a bit harder. Next job, replace the spring on the drop arm ball joint boot. It's just completely rusted off. I did replace this because the boot was knackered, so that so I put this on and it's had the spring, and then the spring's corroded in the meantime. Used to be the case that you couldn't ever find just replaceable boots for this or any other track rod ball joint, but then I guess it was 2014, 2015 or something like that when a split in a ball joint boot became an MOT fail. So now actually you can buy polyurethane boots for this, but also you can buy stainless steel ball joint boot clips. This is a Britpart number, but you can also get them from Gwyn Lewis, who might be the person that actually makes them or came up with the idea originally. So we're going to fit this, and hopefully we won't have a problem with it again. Whoopsie. There we go. Crisis averted. Might need a top up. Okay, it is right there. Look at that, that is clean. That does not need to be replaced. It's right there at the top actually, so I don't think I need to top it up at all. This is where it'd be good having a lift, because then you could just point the breaker bar straight down to get this open, and it'd be so much quicker checking diff oils and stuff like that. Even though I've finished that, I need to bleed the brakes, which is why I haven't put the wheel back on. Oh, there we go. That is clean. That is green, clean oil. No problem there. The transfer box is potentially weeping a little bit on here. Even though it's only 40,000 miles, it's still pretty greasy around here, and I think it's all coming from the filler here, dribbling this way. I tell you, access getting in here when you don't have a real handbrake, you've got an X-Ing disc brake handbrake, is amazing. Bit of a dribble. When it's right level, potentially some little chunks falling out there. That might just be debris from around the threads. I don't think I'm going to change that now, but it's probably worth changing in due course. The good old Torx 55 on the R380. I've got a special set of Torx bits I bought, which I don't get to use much because on my other Defender it's an Ashcross replacement, and they always put in the LT77 with the half-inch drive, male half-inch drive on here. Oh, there's quite a lot. Wow, quite a lot came out of there. Just about got out of the way in time. I was not expecting that much to flood out, but I guess it's all about levels, where you were, how level the vehicle was when you filled it, and it's not too much. It's not glugging out. That's clean and golden, which is good. I mean, same. This was fresh when I put it in. And the vehicle's hardly been run a few hundred metres. One more thing to do, I've done the brake fluid as part of doing the brakes on the rear axle, so clutch fluid will also need doing. Ugh. Almost forgot to test it. 3%. Yeah, clutch fluid always goes worse than brake fluid, probably because there's less of it. I have to flush through some of that sludge, but look, get the bonnet up. I can taste the potential of having a garage in future. This is going to be epic, to be able to suspend stuff above the vehicle. Can't wait. Well, seeing as I can't find my funnel, I thought the easiest way would be to clean the syringe out and then squirt it back in. Doesn't take much. That's pretty much one syringe and it's full. That's the cleanest way of doing it. That is the best way of doing it. Wow. Never done it like that, but that's good. The thing about the clutch fluid is it does actually drain by itself. So I've replaced this fluid. It's all clean. I've mopped out all the black stuff, and that's obviously the seals that are going, and it's kind of clean now. But the clutch is just going to the floor. But I just can't get a firm pedal on this, and there's no bubbles coming out of the slave cylinder. So that means, yeah, because the fluid's been so black, this is screwed. Well, the seals are anyway. So that's another job to add to the list. Well, that pretty much concludes the service, which is basically replacing all the things that need to be replaced that degrade with time. So I've done fluids and whatever. A few things I'm still going to do when it's back on the road. I'm going to do fuel filter and sedimenter when it's back on the road. I need to do transfer box oil when it's been run for a bit. Same, I need to do the auxiliary belts, but I just want them to sort of polish the pulleys a bit before I replace those belts. Next jobs will be master cylinder, slave cylinder on the clutch, and I've got to rebuild the front swivels, do track rod ends on the steering arms because they've perished completely. I'm not rebuilding the whole thing at the moment. I just want to get it back on the road, which basically means service items for reliability and passing an MOT, really. So the saga continues. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.